Lawn care in the fall is exciting. You can do just about anything to a lawn, and it's gonna look amazing really, really fast. It's one of the best times of the year to renovate a lawn, to do anything to the lawn to make it look better. But there's a handful of things that I would never do in the month of, let's call it September, maybe even that first week of October. I just wouldn't ever do this. There's like almost no reason why I could think of to advise someone to do these things. 4 of them. Let's get into them. Grub control or grub killing. I would never apply a grub control or a grub preventative product to the lawn in the month of September. And the reason for that is all grubs, or let's call it, I'm going to say 99% of grubs, will emerge from eggs in the months of June and July. And by the time September rolls around, they are way too big to control or prevent, no matter what you use. You could use something strong like imidacloprid. You could use something like chlorantraniliprole, which is going to work on the lawn for a good long time, and it's a little bit more environmentally friendly. You could do something totally organic and natural. No matter what, none of these things are going to kill off grubs in the fall. This darn thing says season-long grub control, grub killer. It's not going to kill grubs. Anything that says control or prevention, it's the wrong time of year. There are even some really popular insect killers out there under the Spectricide label that have grubs on the bag. And you apply this stuff in the fall, you think you're going to be killing the grubs, but the active ingredient on that doesn't kill grubs at all. If you think you got a grub problem, don't try to prevent it in the month of September. I'll put some grub killing options down in the description below if that applies to you. I would also not winterize my lawn. This is the Winter Guard. I would not apply a fall fertilizer for the purpose of winterizing the lawn in the month of September. There literally are some lawn plans out there that say you should winterize your lawn by applying a fertilizer in the fall, in the early fall. That's ridiculous. You're not winterizing your lawn. Even worm season lawns are still growing in the month of September and October. If you're going to apply any sort of fertilizer to the lawn in September, you're not winterizing it. You're just simply fertilizing it, and you're going to get new growth out of it. I absolutely believe that you should fertilize your lawn in September, but if you actually want to winterize your lawn, you got to wait until mid to late fall, depending on where you live. You got to be waiting to the very end of the fall season when your grass stops growing. And in my opinion, you're winterizing, you're basically applying a natural or organic-based fertilizer to the lawn so that the winter fungi will slowly break it down over 3 months and make it plant available by early spring. That's what winterization is in my book. Again, links in the description below where I go more into detail on that. I would also never apply worm season grass seed to my lawn in the month of September. It's too late. Typically, you're going to be putting worm season grass seed down, if at all. You're going to put it down towards the end of spring, maybe the very beginning parts of summer. But by the time September rolls around, you're too late. It's late in the game. At this point, you've got good growth on worm season lawns. You can pull up sprigs, you can pull up plugs and spread into dirt spots. You don't need to put seed down. It's a ridiculous idea to put fresh seed down of any worm season variety. Now, having said that, I'm going to be breaking that rule myself and applying some buffalo grass seed to my lawn way over there in the fall for experimentation purposes. Subscribers will get the joy of watching me struggle trying to put worm season grass in by seed in the off season. Now, a fourth thing I would never do in the month of September, or let's call it early fall, is I would not put down a Preemergent. A Preemergent does go down in the fall to prevent the winter weeds, but the thing is, by September, almost nowhere across the country has soil temperatures dropped enough for winter weeds to actually start germinating. If you're applying this right now in the month of September, it's too early. I would prefer to put down something like this in October as soil temperatures are dropping below 70 degrees. And to get a little bit more detailed on you, I wouldn't recommend prodiamine for your fall application because as temperatures are dropping, winter weeds germinate at different times. It's more of a fluid scale of when they're germinating. So I prefer a product that uses dithiopyr on it. Dithiopyr is going to give you a greater margin of error. Anything that germinates prior to you applying, it's going to prevent, and anything that tries to germinate after you apply, it's also going to prevent. Poa annua, otherwise known as annual bluegrass, is one of the most commonly known winter weeds that germinate this time of year, but there are plenty others. I'll put a link to a dithiopyr product down below. You'll be applying that in the month of October for most places around the country, not September. There are literally so many things that I could talk about and explain about the lawn, about grass in the lawn, how it grows, what we do, different times of the year, why we do it, why we don't do things. And that's why I made this entire long form video about fall lawn care. It's basically everything that you really need to know, or the average lawn owner should know about lawn care in the fall. And for the love, if you're new to lawn care, new to keeping a lawn, go into the description below. I have an email series that goes out called Don't Know Where to Start. Where do I start my lawn? I don't know where to start. Click that link. You'll learn a lot in the order that makes the most sense for someone just getting into lawn care.